Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Charles Henson High School Coaches Show. I'm your host, David Helms, and with me is head coach Quinn Hambright of the Trojans. And, Coach, welcome in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No doubt. It's a blessing to be here on the day.
Well, we appreciate you coming. It's always great to talk with you. And, hey, you move up in classification to a 7A Mobile Mary Montgomery team, and you come away with a big 24-20 win. I know kids, fans, everybody's exciting. The band, everybody got a big win Friday night. And but hey, I know you were down 14-3 at the half. So tell us a little bit about how that game went.
It was sluggish in the first half. You know, we didn't execute at all in a lot of areas of the game. Things that we were coached up to do, that we practice on a daily basis. You know, that's the frustrating part. You know, I can't fuss at a kid if I never told him, you know, the right thing to do.
Right.
It was frustrating. We made a few mental mistakes, mental lapse in the kicking game, you know, and on offense and defense was a few snaps. But, you know, the second half, those kids came out, you know, they fought hard. The grit and effort and heart and will they showed in the second half showed me that we can do it.
Right.
And if we play 4 quarters, then we can compete with the best of them. So you know, I was extremely excited, you know, to see those kids show that resilient side that we haven't seen, you know, that I haven't seen out of them, you know, none of in any of last year.
Right.
So that second half was a half to remember.
Right. Well, you know, Coach, Mary Montgomery lost in overtime last week to a very good Williamson team. I mean, y'all beat a good football team.
Yeah.
And had 21 second half points. Now, I got to ask you what everybody wants to know, and what did you tell them at the half?
Well,
they responded.
They responded very well, and it wasn't so much of myself. It was the players.
Yeah.
They came in the half. Jawan Boyd, you know, just pretty much told the team, you know, if you don't want to win, pretty much leave. You know, we
Leadership.
Yes. You know, he showed it. He's like, look, we're too good for this. You know, y'all got to get it together. You know, if you don't want to win, you know, get off this team. Essentially, I mean, he just pretty much told them flat out, you know, we need to win this game. We have what it takes to win this game. You know, I just came back and kind of just, you know, rode his cape,
right,
and said, you know, he's right. You know, that we need battles like this right now, you know, so we can be war ready in the playoffs.
Right.
You know,
sure.
if you don't go through adversity early in the season, during the season, and you face it later on in the season, that's the wrong time to face adversity.
Right.
You know, so now, week 8, week 9, we have something to relate to. You know, we have something that if you do this, then this will happen.
Right.
You know, they can see it, you know, and they can believe it because they actually did it. So, you know, I just pretty much told them, and that was my, you know, like, we need this right here if you want to be playoff ready. And, they responded. They responded very well.
Just a sense of urgency that second half. But
definitely.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about. You know, I know you had a field goal. Nick Pearson kicks a field goal, I guess, to start with, and then. You know, we said you were down 14-3 at the half. You come back, I want to say Parker Adams to Mosley.
Stephon Mosley.
For a 52-yard touchdown pass. And that gets you to 14-9. You got a safety.
Yep.
All right, 14-11. And then I think Adams to Will Templin.
Yep.
19-yard TD pass, and then they regained the lead, 20-17. I don't know how much, maybe
about
7 minutes to go.
About 7 minutes to go in the game.
Okay, and then the winning drive starts. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You start on your 22. You go 78 yards in, like, I want to say 16 plays.
Yes, sir.
15 of them on the ground.
Yes, sir, no doubt.
And you punch it in with 45 seconds or so to go.
45, 46 seconds, somewhere around there.
But let me just ask you this now. You're down with 7 minutes to go. You protect the football and you drive it that far. I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah. For an O-line to that you know didn't have a 100 rushing yard game any of last year, to have 200-yard rushing games back to back.
Right.
That shows that, you know, that they've grown up.
Right.
They've grown up tremendously.
Right.
And for them to want to run the ball in the fourth quarter, you know, coach, run inside the zone.
Right.
Run inside zone. And it helped that we had Jawan Boyd back there too.
Yeah.
You know, the game is so slow to him. You know, he has slowed down more than anybody. He sees it in slow motion while everybody sees it full speed. So he can set up his blocks. He gets through there. ball security was a thing with them. But
Right.
when you're trying to get extra yardage, if you look in the NFL, look in college, the kids, the men that have the most fumbles are the ones that are getting the yards after contact.
Right.
Because they're trying to get that extra yardage.
Right.
They're trying to be
Exactly.
tough. They're trying to get that too. They're trying to grind it out. So, that's what he did. Between him and Antonio Frazier, you can't forget about him. He was 205-pound sophomore, at running back, and he's a knot. He's a bowling ball. So you pound, CJ one, you get lightning,
Right.
you get thunder, you get lightning. You don't know which way to go.
Right.
So we ran the ball and we ran it well. That last drive, and I was extremely proud of him.
Well, you know what? It's a special relationship between an O-line and running back.
Yeah.
You hear about pro quarterbacks taking the offensive line out for dinner or whatever.
Definitely.
If you're an offensive lineman and you got a guy behind you that will run hard and you do your job,
Yep.
I mean that'll work.
Yep.
And obviously it did the second half. And now I guess Boyd led you in rushing.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
yards.
99 yards, and he had some receiving yards.
Yeah.
And so he's a weapon at receiver as well.
Yep.
And Parker Adams, I want to say, was 14 of 19 for 191 yards, a couple of touchdowns.
Yep.
So, but second half, your offense came on and your defense stiffened.
Yeah.
The
defense stiffened. I mean, they had two big plays in the first half on passing downs. DBs were, one of them was in pretty good position. The other one, not so much. But they may have had 30 rushing yards the entire game.
Wow.
I mean, we up front, they're stout. They were pretty big, but we're tough up front. I know that our front seven is going to keep us in a lot of games.
Right.
That's just how it's going to be with Zion Grady on one side, and you have Jalen on the other side, and then Mac in the middle with Damian and Brandon. Those are some guys that are in the weight room strong.
Yes.
That's a crew that they live and breathe iron. So they've grown up. Each one of those guys played significant ball last year. And out of the names I just called, only one of them is a senior.
Right.
So
You're still young.
they're still young. The entire O-line played last year. They're back this year. So, and I'm only losing two.
Right.
So we're still young. Quarterback's a junior, running back's a junior, Jawan Boyd is a junior. We're going to be decent.
Future's bright.
Yeah, well, the future's really bright for sure.
Well, Coach, we're going to move on in a minute, but again, congratulations. Big home victory.
Yep.
And of course, it starts a 6-game home stretch for you.
It does.
And but before we move on to this week, I do want to ask you just a little bit about practice. I know that you watch film and you work on things you might need to improve on last week. So what did you focus on practice this week, rather than the opponent? What about on you? What did y'all?
Ball security.
Yeah.
And a lot of special teams.
Yeah.
A lot of special teams. They can make or break a game.
Right.
And putting them through adversity through practice.
Yes.
And those scenarios to just grill them, so they won't be frantic during the game. So they can, be in situations. Everything is game-like situations this week.
Yeah.
Me ripping them, me, having a coach. Hey, coach. Rip them, regardless.
Yeah.
So that they know, because Greenville's going to be scrappy.
Sure.
They're going to be a team that they're going to get that extra hit. They're going to do things to try to get in our heads because they're an aggressive team.
Right.
They're a good physical team. So we have to be composed. And we have to show that we can keep our head in certain situations. So it was all about us this week. We focused on Greenville.
Sure.
But we really, really need to clean up a lot of things on our end so that we can fully prepare for them.
Well, as you go through the season and you go through adversity and different situations, different scenarios, and you build your team, obviously you can chalk this one up to winning, being behind late in the game, coming from behind and winning. So it was a big win.
Definitely.
Okay, let's talk about this week. Big 5A Region 2 game with Greenville. The Greenville Tigers, they come to town. You got them in Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Yes.
I saw where they defeated Park Crossing last week, 25-19. Oh, was it overtime?
Yep.
Okay. And always a great game when you get these two together, but give us a little about, how Greenville's going, what they're going to bring into the table.
Toughness, grit, and physicality. They're going to be physical. Patrick Brown is coming from Pike Road.
Right.
So, he's coming with his offense, a lot of motioning, a lot of shifting. We just have to line up and play football, you can shift, but at the end of the day, the ball has to be snapped at some point.
That's right.
And as long as and it's a lineman assignment to fly to the ball. I repeat it. It's a motto on defense, that we're going to abide by and we're going to stick by. If we're where we're supposed to be, we give ourselves a chance.
Right. What about defensively? How they going to set up?
Defensively, they're aggressive on the corners, so they're going to press up a little bit. Which we have guys that can run. All of my skilled guys run track. And that's mandatory on mine.
I got you.
Unless you play baseball,
right?
You have to run track, and we have some pretty fast guys on the edges, and they're going to be aggressive. They're going to be big up front. They have a corner coming back that's pretty good. So I'm pretty sure he's probably going to follow John One board everywhere he goes.
Right.
But we just have to be resilient and stick to the game plan.
Right.
A lot of boys, when it doesn't work the first 2 times, they want to throw it away. We don't have a coaching staff like that, but the kids, coach run something else. No, it's gonna pop.
Yeah.
Wait for it. It's gonna be there. We don't coach our butts off all week in the game plan for things that we that don't see that's not gonna be there. Execute it. It's gonna be there. So
sure.
We're looking for a hard-nosed, well-fought game for sure.
Is there a key matchup like O-line versus D-line, or is there a key matchup that'll be important in the game to watch?
Definitely. I know they have a tackle that's really good. That has a few offers.
Yeah.
I think he's a senior. I like to see that matchup against
O-line, D-line.
O-line.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see that matchup with my my DN,
right.
my sophomore DN.
Yeah.
I want to see how he responds to a kid that is similar caliber to him.
Right.
So. Yeah. That trenches is always a good matchup, and when you got two hogs going at it,
yes,
it's going to be good. So,
well, let me ask you this: what about the kicking game?
Kicking game, I still feel like Nick Pearson is the best kicker in the state, and he just has to get out of his own head. He's dealing with a back problem right now, so it's kind of stiffening up on him. But I think that. He can still change the game. He's still a weapon, one of the best weapons that we have.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we want to invite everybody out. It is a home game, 7 o'clock Friday night. I know you'll have a big crowd that'll be rooting you on. And like I said, Greenville's always a big game. Charles Henderson when we get together. And listen, I just want to, again, thank you for all you do.
I appreciate
your coaching staff. And hopefully next week we can talk a little bit about your staff and promote them a little bit.
Definitely.
But listen, good luck and go Trojans.
Go Trojans. I appreciate it.
Yeah. See you next week.
Thank you. Be there.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Are you ready?
Sometimes more is more.
And with Max Checking, I enjoy more with perks, like access to my paychecks 2 days early. Free.
Hey, good evening and welcome everyone to the Goshen High School Eagles Coaches Show. I'm David Helms, your host, and with me is Coach Don Moore. And Coach, good to have you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and Coach, big win over Zion Chapel last week.
Yes, sir.
You moved to 2-0. It was a non-region game, but you won 46-21, and you know, it was I guess your first road game, so
Yes,
you got experience on traveling. It wasn't a long trip, but anyway, it is something different for your players.
It is.
So it was a big win.
It was. You know, we started off slow, but they took it to us early, and I try to warn our kids about that all week.
You said it last week. Yeah.
And you know, they come out just like I knew they would.
Right.
And they hit us in the mouth, and
Right.
it took us a little while to wake up and understand what was going on.
Yeah. Well, I guess they scored first.
Yes, sir.
All right, on the first drive of the game.
Yes, sir.
All right, and they go up 7-0. You come back. Now I may be wrong on some of these stats, but Peyton Stamey to Tyler McClendon for a touchdown. But anyway, I guess you don't get the extra point. It's
Yes,
still
sir.
7-6.
Missed it.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
but you go in with a lead at halftime, 21-14, I think.
Yes, sir.
But hey, I got to ask you what every fan wants to know. Whatever your halftime speech was, because the second half was all Goshen pretty much.
Yes, sir. I just you know, just had to wake our kids up. You know,
Right.
kind of let them know that, you know, we were lucky to be where we are because we muffed some punts. We were lucky to get back on them. You know, things like that. It really could have went
the other way.
Really quick. We could have been down 2 touchdowns at halftime instead of being up. So we were very, very fortunate for that.
Right.
You know, so we had to kind of wake them up a little bit and challenge them at halftime about coming out more physical and more focused.
Right. So, I mean, the second half, I see that, I guess, Jamari McClure, Brody Wilkes,
KJ Bristow.
KJ Bristow, all had touchdowns second half.
Yes, sir.
And I guess McClure was your leading rusher.
Yes, sir. He
Paper
was.
said 200 yards. Does that
Yes,
sound
sir.
about right?
204 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns. And Andrews had I guess 69 yards on 7 attempts. Bristow 78 yards on 2 attempts. But you kept it on the ground most of the night.
Yes, sir.
I think you only passed it 4 times.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just being honest with
Well,
you.
you got to do what they give you. You know,
Right.
right.
And
yeah.
you know, when we take shots when we feel like we can get them.
Right.
But you know, that's our strong point is our run game.
Yeah. Well, your O-line must have played pretty well.
They did second half.
Second
Yes,
half.
sir.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of challenged them at one point coming out of halftime. Ran the same exact play, the same side, counted on film 7 times.
Yeah.
I wanted to try to establish
Right.
a set a tone with our offensive line up front, and you know, and they rose to the challenge.
Yeah, that's great. Well, hey, we talked about it last week. We're talking about it this week. You seem to be able to spread your scoring around. I mean, you got
Yes, sir.
you know a number of weapons that can do it.
Yes,
you
sir,
don't have to
we do.
rely on any one guy.
We do.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate for having depth this year
Yeah.
is huge for us. Last year we had 0 depth,
Right.
and we were young. So you know, but this year we got other kids out, and it's been a blessing to be able to do that and give some of these other guys, you know, a break and you know, and keep them fresh.
Right. Well, Coach, your offense obviously came on the second half, but your defense tightened up a little bit too. I mean,
They
you only
did.
gave up, I guess, 7 points.
Yes, sir. We did. We just finally started doing what we had coached them all week to do.
Right.
We finally woke them up enough that they started figuring out what we were telling them, and
Right.
instead of doing their own thing, they started doing what we coached them up to do. So that's what worked for them.
Well, did Zion surprise you any? Or you are pretty much, other than being maybe more physical, but did they do anything different than you expected, offensively or defensively?
No, sir. They threw it a little bit more than
Okay.
which I knew that they probably would. They got us. That's how they set up their 2 first touchdowns on 3rd and longs. Threw a couple long passes and you know got our DBs sleeping and threw it over their head.
Right.
Made some good plays.
Yeah.
So they did that. That was you know, even though we knew they should be coming, but
Yeah.
you know, they just fell asleep on us.
Yeah. Well, Coach, defensively, I had Andrews with 8 tackles, and is it Jacob
Sape.
Sape with 7? Is that?
Yes, sir.
So they those two guys played really well. I'm
yes,
sure.
sir. And Sape was one of the ones we kind of challenged at halftime because he was, you know, he was kind of getting fooled a little bit and trying to chase something that it was not his job to start with. And we got in there and watched some film and you know, and kind of showed him what we were talking about. And second half, he responded like crazy. Like he got after it second half.
Yeah. Was there any big plays on the kicking game that had a significant impact or field position?
Well, we had a punt return for a touchdown and got called back.
Now you returned it, or they
yes,
did?
sir. We returned it.
Okay.
And,
Gotcha.
it got called back.
Right.
And then you know,
What part of the game was that? That second half, or?
I think it was second half.
Yeah.
It may have been first or right there towards the end first. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, right.
Kind of all blurs together right there.
Sure, I'm sure it does.
But we just got to kind of shore up our PATs. Where we keep, you know, missing them a little bit, and it's you know, sometimes it's the blocking, sometimes it's the holding, sometimes it's the kicking, sometimes it's all of it. But when it goes right, it's beautiful. So you know, we're just, you know, and catching kickoffs and punts. You know, that's just been a big thing for us right now. We have some dynamic guys back there that can return it, but we got you know, that's our job to coach them up and get them where they need to be on that.
Right. Well, you know, you're talking about extra points. You know, the kicker always gets credit that goes through. But, yeah, you got the snap, you got the hold, you got the kick. I mean, there's a lot more to it than just kicking the ball.
Oh, it is,
you know?
and everybody only sees the kicker.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Coach, again, you know, big win, like I said, on the road. And before we switch to this week and talk a little bit about your next opponent, what about practice this week? I know you probably focused on yourself early in the week and then
Yes,
maybe
sir.
Highland later in the week. But what did you kind of work on for yourself this week?
The simplicity of things of finishing blocks, communicating up front, reading our keys on defense, fitting where we need to fit, and making better tackles. We missed a lot of tackles last week, and so we had to go back to, and we tackle, like I said, every day, but we really had to kind of revamp a little bit on how we're approaching that and kind of break it down a little bit more for our guys. So we really went right back to the basic fundamentals, day one stuff.
I got you. Well, you know what? Is when you win a game and then you go into the next week practice, work on those things, it's a lot better than coming off a loss and, you know, enforcing it. I mean, you know, you got things you obviously want to improve on. But,
yes, sir.
Anyway, Coach, let's think about this week. You got a big region game. I guess it's your first region game.
Yes, sir.
You got to go to Highland home, which, like I said, you traveled last week, so you got that little bit of travel experience out of the way. But they're 2-0. You're 2-0. It's going to be a great game. They defeated Ayrton last week, 34-33, which you already know that. I don't know a lot about them. What I hear is they got a lot of weapons.
They do.
But you know, what do you expect from Highland?
A physical and, you know, confident football team. That's what, and they, as well they should be. They knocked off a very good Ayrton football team, and they had to come back in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter to do it. So that lets you know that they fight from quarter to quarter, every minute. So that's what you're going to be in for. You know, they're used to winning, and it shows. They do a good job over there. Their whole coaching staff and those players. They're very confident, but like I said, they're confident because they believe that much in themselves and what they're doing. And so that's what you got to fight when you go to a team like that. You know, you got to match, you know, that physicality and that level of intensity.
Right. Well, is there a particular matchup I won't say worried about, but you're looking at, like your O line versus their D line, or, you know, is there a particular matchup you're really interested in?
The defensive backs for us have got to play well. They have some really good receivers. They're really tall. Quarterback's really good. They do a really good job of when he gets flushed out of the pocket, he looks downfield. He don't look to run, even though he can run it. He's a big, stocky kid that can run the ball. He looks downfield. His eyes are still downfield. He's very disciplined when it comes to that. And those receivers do a really good job of understanding when he gets flushed out and they break their routes off and they come back to the ball. Like it's kind of impressive to see when you are watching them. To be honest with you, as as high school kids, seeing that and doing it. So that's what we got to. You know, that's the challenge for us this week.
So basically, stopping the big play is a concern. I mean, obviously what you just said,
Yes,
more or
sir.
less. So, and I think last week they were, just talking with people that were at the game. There were a lot of big plays. Whether it be runs, passes on both sides.
Right.
So, well, I tell you what, like I said, both teams are 2-0. I know y'all gonna be ready for the challenge, and like I said, it is a away game.
Yes, sir.
But I know you're excited. These are the kind of games you look forward to playing in.
It is, and that's
You
what
know?
I told our guys. I said,
Yeah.
guys, you put yourself in this situation, in this position to have,
Exactly.
this chance. So, go out there and,
Right.
don't regret what we got.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. We still got a lot of games left, but
Yeah.
this one is a fun one to play in, and a fun one to be coaching in.
No doubt. And it's an opportunity to show improvement
Right.
over the last couple of weeks, But anyway, I know, the fans and the community, and we're certainly all proud of y'all, starting out like you have.
Yes,
and
sir.
and of course, I'm sure, we'll invite all your fans out, but I
Oh, yeah.
guarantee you they'll make that trek over there to Highland Home. And you know what? It'll be a great game. They'll be a good host. I mean, you get a setup like that, whether it's in Highland Home or in Goshen.
Right.
A lot of friends on both sides. It's going to be a well-played game. And but anyway, Coach, wish you all the luck, and I just thank you for all you do.
Yes, sir. I
And
appreciate it.
and listen, if we got one more minute or so, what about you? Got any JV games coming up? Or
We got one actually next Tuesday at 6 o'clock at home against
Okay.
Highland Home.
okay,
So we just
Good deal.
had a JV game this past Monday, lost to Brantley 15-8 right there in the last minute
Right.
left in the game.
Yeah.
So
that's good competition though.
It is.
Brantley and
It
Highland
really is.
Home, Goshen.
Oh,
Yeah, that's great. Well, Coach, good luck, and I appreciate you
Yes, sir.
coming,
Thank
and
you.
look forward to seeing how the game goes
yes,
for
sir. I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sometimes more is more. And with Max Checking, I enjoy more with perks, like access to my paychecks 2 days early, free overdraft protection, earning rewards everywhere I spend, and more of everything that makes life a little sweeter. You can enjoy more too with Max Credit Union.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow, how many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%.
Yes.
Wow, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm working underneath this truck.
Oh man, can you work on diesel trucks?
No, I can't.
Do you know that Wiley Sanders will train you to work on diesel trucks?
Really?
In a shop!
In a shop?
A shop! My man, you made it!
Yes, sir, I did.
You came to Wiley Sanders to a shop. How you like teaching this young man?
I enjoy helping these guys be successful.
So if they can work on a little truck, you can teach them how to work on a big truck.
Yes, sir, we sure can.
Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line where we'll teach you how to work on a big truck.
We're blowing away high prices. Use Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Ford. We got them. And they're all marked down. Over 120 to choose from. Bring home $350 a week, and you can be approved. Shop PremierTroy.com or come see us. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody. Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime. PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois,
Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina,
Ohio, Arkansas. We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. You're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina, Ohio, and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
We know life can be fun and exciting, but also sometimes challenging. With always being on the go, it can be tough to take care of the big little things, like getting a loan for a more reliable car. Sometimes.
Hey, good evening and welcome everyone to the Pike Liberal Arts Patriots Coaches Show. I'm your host, David Helms, and with me is Coach Travis Baxley. Coach, welcome to the show.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. And Coach, we didn't talk the first week after a big Mobile Christian game, but you know, you went down there and you know, played a big 3A powerhouse in Mobile Christian. But we want to talk about this week. You come back, 4A Bayside Academy. I mean, they've got a program that we've all heard about. In fact, Charles Henderson played them some years ago. I went down and watched that game, and they're very competitive. I know the outcome, it was a 35-15, I believe, but it wasn't the outcome you wanted. But let me tell you, you had to have been proud of the improvement from game 1 to game 2, and you went in at half ahead.
Yep, went into half ahead. And,
that's awesome.
Yep, and a lot to build on, a lot of improvement, and you know, we just have to learn how to finish.
Yeah.
And it was our own mistakes that cost us.
Right.
And so we're back to work, and we're fixing mistakes, and we're tightening up special teams and things like that. And we're going to learn from it and grow from it and build on it.
Right.
And so we're happy with where we are.
Yeah. Well, I would say so. And you know, I see where Bayside jumped ahead of you 7-0, but then you stormed back for 15 unanswered points.
Yep.
And I see where Cade Renfro had a field goal, and then you got the Dawson brothers. Bradford brothers, Dawson Bradford to KC Bradford for a 48-yard touchdown.
Yep.
And that, you know, hey, I know we don't want to concentrate too much on just any one players, but I got to believe that's pretty special now.
It is special for our first HSAA touchdown
Yes.
to be brother to brother.
Right,
there.
right.
And,
yes.
Of course, Dawson followed that up with an 87-yard strike to Levi DeBoer.
Right.
And so we were excited, and we'll build on it.
Right. Well, yeah, you had your first lead of the season. Yep. I mean, the new public school and the season, and then your first touchdown. So, and listen, in your second game.
Right.
So I'm saying you already having things that are happening.
Right.
You know, I mean, you can see the growth.
Right. And we have to learn how to finish.
Right.
And that is something that is a skill. You know, it's a mentality, and it's something that we preach, and we're taking steps toward that end, learning how to close out quarters, close out half, close out games.
Right.
And so we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, Coach, what about maybe a position group that's shown the most growth? I mean, like offensive line, or, you know, some position group that's really matured, I guess, faster than maybe you thought, or.
Well, you know, our offensive line, we are young, starting an 8th grader.
Right.
Okay, and that's always a challenge, you know, because that unit takes time to come together, you know. Right. And that's probably one of the toughest units to bring together and play together, and so we're improving there. That's one for sure. Mm-hmm. And our defensive backs group is coming together, and when you talk about 4 to 5 guys having to work together, DBs would be the equivalent of OL, because there's so many moving parts that it's a complex formula there.
Right.
With your coverages and your opponent route combinations and that sort of stuff, and so those two groups have shown the most progress.
Right. Well, Coach, you know, I hate to, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I'm sure your team we've already said showed a lot of improvement week 1 to week 2, but we talked about, you know, the Bradford brothers hooking up on that touchdown. And did you want to mention anybody else that maybe had a good game for you?
Our defensive player of the week was a sort of a JV player that has stepped up recently. Pruitt Vaughn with 7 solo tackles, 7 assists, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. Yep.
Wow.
And so he's an undersized defensive end, and he just played his heart out and played with great technique, even when he didn't have the weight to finish, you know.
Right.
And so very proud of him.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, what classification is he? What grade?
10th.
Okay.
Most of our team is 10th grade.
That's right. I know you're very young. Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. We're proud for him. And again, before we move on, just like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that you don't like the outcome. You wanted to win the game, obviously. But to show the improvement you did, I know you're proud of them. And you're going at halftime. I guarantee you the Patriot fan base was proud of y'all's effort. And it just, I guess, second half, it just got your depth and stuff just kind of wore away, you know.
Depth starts to show up in middle to the end of third quarter. And we have about 9 guys playing both ways, special teams. You know, that's about 120, 124 plays a game.
Right.
And, you know, you can't replicate game shape.
That's right.
During the summer. And so, really, you know, it'll be week 4 or 5 before we catch our wind, so to speak, where we're able to, you know, push down the stretch, fourth quarter and stuff like that. But we're going to give it a go this week. You know, that's not an excuse for us.
That's right.
So we've worked on conditioning. Excuse me, and we're going to keep pressing forward.
Well, you know what? Winners don't make excuses, do they?
That's right.
And I tell you what, but you got 9 kids that play on both sides of the ball. I mean, the only word that comes to mind is just gladiators.
Yep.
I mean, you know, they go at it, don't they?
Yep. They're tough.
And you'll get that depth. Yeah, you'll eventually. You'll get that depth. But
it's coming.
But, Coach, before we talk about this week, how's practice going? I know you've worked on things from last week.
Great week of practice. Awesome. And I think we had our best day today. And our kids are sort of settling into our routine and what's expected of them from the weight room to film to practice.
Right.
And sort of not letting our current feelings dictate what practice looks like. Right?
Yes.
When practice starts, we want to be about our business, regardless of how we feel. It is we're punching the clock, and we're putting in time.
Right.
And so, from that standpoint, I've been really happy with our guys.
Yeah. Well, and I tell you what, like I said, after last week, I mean, there had to been they were probably bouncing around a little bit more than normal because look, we made some progress. Let's keep making progress.
Right.
And see what happens this week. But well, Coach, let's flip the channel, I guess, as you say. And now I don't know much about your opponent. I know you played Chipley High School.
Yep.
You got to travel down to Florida.
Yep.
But what size comparatively in Alabama would Chipley be? You think?
I think they're and I don't know a whole lot about them until the last week or so.
Right.
They're a 2A, which would be a big 3A to 4A here,
right. That's,
you know.
Okay.
And they are athletic, and they have the wide receiver committed to Auburn, and they have some other skill players that they want to get it to in space. And so we're going to have to line up, give them help over the top, tackle in space, and be fundamentally sound defensively.
Right. Did they play last week?
Yeah, they played Rutherford High School, which I've never heard of.
Yeah. Big school.
Yep. Yeah. And they beat them pretty good.
Yeah.
And so they're a good football team.
Yeah.
And you know, which we play every week.
That's right.
And so but sort of going back to what happened in the Bayside game, you know, the outcome of that had nothing to do with Bayside. It was 100% our mistakes,
which you can clean up.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we take the same approach every week, and that includes this week.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like, I mean, you scout and you work on the opponent, but you're mainly working on you every week.
Absolutely.
And if you can get the best, you can be the best you can be, the rest of it will take care of itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That sounds good. Well, listen, you traveled to Mobile a couple weeks ago, so you got that long travel kind of, you know, kids, they need that experience of having to go away and play a game, so you've got that out under your belt, so this shouldn't be a tremendous challenge, you know, traveling. But
it's about an hour and a half.
I was going to ask you, you're not that far.
It ain't bad.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Well, you mentioned some weapons they had, I think the receiver you talked about, so it's all about building confidence and going down there and playing hard.
That's right.
And seeing what happens.
That's right.
The key thing you've said today that impressed me is last week it was all about what y'all did or didn't do.
Right.
You know, it wasn't so much about your opponent. Right. So you can work on you every day.
Right.
So that's a good thing. But well, Coach, is there any you've already pretty much talked about, give us some good information on Chipley.
Yep.
It is a Friday night game.
Yep.
I
Friday
guess they
night,
play at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Okay.
Same deal.
Well, I know you'll have a good entourage of Patriot fans
Yep.
going down. You're going to have support,
Absolutely.
And I know, like I said, they're excited on building on the success from last week. Hey, I wanted to say this, though. Your JV team beat Greenville.
Beat Greenville 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yep.
Big win.
And we were excited about that.
Yes.
And it was really a boost for our program. After
Sure.
that win, we had 8 kids come out and join the football team in the last 8 days.
Wow.
And so that was big for us. And our entire school needed a boost of confidence. And there were kids out there that were on the fence about playing or not.
Yeah.
And all they needed was an example
Sure.
of, yes, we can do it.
We're going to get there.
And here they
Yes.
come.
Yes.
And so that was big for us. Yeah.
Because sometimes kids listen to people out there
Right.
that look at your schedule and they
Right.
say, oh my goodness, stuff
Right.
like that. They listen to that mess.
Right.
But you have a little success, and like I said, here they come.
That's right.
But look, Greenville is no slouch.
That's right.
And y'all beat them bad.
Yep. Yep. Yes.
I mean, that's
Yep.
good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, listen, I want to thank you again for all you do, and maybe next week we can talk about some of your staff, because I know you bragged on them already.
Absolutely.
And but listen, y'all go down to Chipley and get a win, and keep building this program.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
But you just need some help that works with you on your terms. And that's exactly what you get with Max Credit Union. With convenient tools like loan updates right to your phone and personal service, you can get more done in less time. And that is something to cheer about.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Are you ready?
Sometimes more is more. And with Max Checking, I enjoy more with perks, like access to my paychecks 2 days early, free overdraft protection, earning rewards everywhere I spend, and more of everything that makes life a little sweeter. You can enjoy more too with Max Credit Union.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow, how many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%?
Yes.
Wow, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm working underneath this truck.
Oh, man, can you work on diesel trucks?
No, I can't.
Do you know that Wireless Sandals will train you to work on diesel trucks?
Really?
In a shop.
In a shop?
A shop. My man, you made it.
Yes, sir, I did.
You came to Wireless Sandals to a shop. How you like teaching this young man?
I enjoy helping these guys be successful.
So if they can work on a little truck, you can teach them how to work on a big truck.
Yes, sir, we sure can.
Come to Wireless Sandals Truck Line where we'll teach you how to work on a big truck.
We're blowing away high prices. Use Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Ford. We got them. And they're all marked down. Over 120 to choose from. Bring home $350 a week and you can be approved. Shop PremierTroy.com or come see us. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody. Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois,
Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. If you're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina, Ohio, and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
We know life can be fun and exciting, but also sometimes challenging. With always being on the go, it can be tough to take care of the big little things, like getting a loan for a more reliable car. Sometimes you just need some help that works with you on your terms. And that's exactly what you get with Max Credit Union. With convenient tools like loan updates right to your phone and personal service, you can get more done in less time. And that is something to cheer about.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Are you ready?
Sometimes more is more. And with Max Checking, I enjoy more with perks, like access to my paychecks 2 days early, free overdraft protection, earning rewards everywhere I spend, and more of everything that makes life a little sweeter. You can enjoy more too with Max Credit Union.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get a week?
2,500.
Wow. How many miles you get a week?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%?
Yes.
Wow. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm working underneath this truck.
Oh, man, can you work on diesel trucks?
No, I can't.
Do you know that Wireless Sandals will train you to work on diesel trucks?
Really?
In a shop.
In a shop?
A shop. My man, you made it.
Yes, sir, I did.
You came to Wireless Sandals to a shop. How you like teaching this young man?
I enjoy helping these guys be successful.
So if they can work on a little truck, you can teach them how to work on a big truck.
Yes, sir, we sure can.
Come to Wireless Sandals Truck Line where we'll teach you how to work on a big truck.
We're blowing away high prices. Use Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Ford. We got them. And they're all marked down. Over 120 to choose from. Bring home $350 a week and you can be approved. Shop PremierTroy.com or come see us. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody. Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Wireless Sandals Truck Line, where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois,
Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wireless Sandals Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. If you're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wireless Sandals Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina, Ohio, and Arkansas.
Wireless Sandals Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
We know life can be fun and exciting, but also sometimes challenging. With always being on the go, it can be tough to take care of the big little things, like getting a loan for a more reliable car. Sometimes you just need some help that works with you on your terms. And that's exactly what you get with Max Credit Union. With convenient tools like loan updates right to your phone and personal service, you can get more done in less time. And that is something to cheer about.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Are you ready?
Sometimes more is more. And with Max Checking, I enjoy more with perks, like access to my paychecks 2 days early, free overdraft protection, earning rewards everywhere I spend, and more of everything that makes life a little sweeter. You can enjoy more too with Max Credit Union.
Wireless Sandals Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wireless Sandals?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wireless?
6 years.
How many miles you get a week?
2,500.
Wow. How many miles you get a week?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%?
Yes.
Wow. Wireless Sandals Truck Line, Troy, Alabama.
Okay, good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Brantley Bulldog Coaches Show. I'm your host, David Helms, and with me via Zoom from Brantley is the head coach of the Bulldogs, Coach Roland Jones. And, Coach, good evening.
Hey.
Hey, Coach, you had a big region win Friday night against Houston County Lions. It was your first region win. It was a 33-7 win, and you had to do it on the road. So I know you had a lot of people play well for you. Brantley remains number one in the polls. So tell me a little bit about how that game went.
Well, Mr. David, we started a little slow. Defensively, we played good. We held them to a couple first downs the first half. They had one long run, young guys and get them in the game. And we got to play a lot of people, and we have them.
Right. Well, Coach, I wasn't at the game, but I saw some of your stats, and it looks like you were able to throw and run the ball, some of both. And I see that Jaden Parks had, I want to say, 11 for 16 for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then I guess Robert Shine was your leading rusher.
He was, yes, sir. He was back this week, and he rushed for a little over 100 yards. And Jaden picked up where he left off after the Luverne game, and he didn't get sacked again. So I'm proud of our offensive line. They still got they got to work on run blocking, but we just got to get better each and every week. But we had several people caught the ball, Kedrick Brown and Caleb Weed and John Bush and Jordan Parks did a great job at receiver. Kendrick went 1 touchdown at receiver, and it was just a good total win by everybody.
Right. Well, I mentioned Jaden Park's stats. I want to say I have Robert Shine down for 12 rushes for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns, and John Bush, is that right, Coach? He had 5 catches for 55 yards, and Kendrick Welch, a TD catch of 45 yards. I hope I'm saying those kids right.
That's right.
But let me ask this: you mentioned your offensive line, and you also mentioned your defense. But is there a position group that's really maybe exceeded your expectations early in the season?
Yeah, Mr. Dave, we lost 3 good receivers last year. That's the guys that's really stepped up. They got to play a lot last year in second half of the games, but John Bush and Gordon, they got to play some last year, but John Bush and Jordan Parks and Caleb Weed and Kendrick Welch, they've done a great job of stepping in at our receiver because we've got our running backs back. We got most of our line back, and then Jaden, our quarterback, because Tucker was hurt last year. Jaden got to play in 7 games. So, receivers we were a little worried about, but those guys are doing really well, and, they working hard every day, and, it's great to see the young kids that put in their time to be where they're at now, and now it's their time to shine. And it's just a work in progress. We work with our JBs. They practice with the varsity every day. They look at the same scheme. And then those guys, one day they're going to be up there. So, it's just great for all these kids to get opportunity to play and move up the chain. And then when it's your turn and it's your number, you got to go in and be able to make plays.
Right. And, Coach, you might have just mentioned a couple of them, but since you were able to play some of your younger kids, is there a couple of them you didn't mention that really took advantage of the opportunity, I guess?
Well, Trey Brooks, he's one of the ones that did a good job on our offensive line that came in, and then he did a job for us there. And, the other receivers, Lowry Bogan, he got his thumb and got to do some things. So, all of them did well. We played 41 kids, so that's good. We played that many kids in a football game, and I was pleased of what they accomplished. We still got a long way to go. We're not there yet. It's going to be week by week, and got to get better each and every week, and go through the progress that it takes to be good at the end of the year. That's when we want to be our best.
Well, coaches, I talked with other coaches, y'all all pretty much the good coaches feel the same way, and that is, you're going to scout your opponent and you're going to prepare for your opponent, but you're working on yourself every day. And I know you want to be the best you can be, winning these region games is very important, and playoff time, you want to be the best you can be, and obviously that's what y'all, the good coaches, do. And let me ask you this, so before we move on, again, you had your first big region win. You're getting that under your belt. And now, before we move on to this week, what have you worked on in practice that you saw in the game Friday night you wanted to improve on?
Well, we've done a lot of inside run stuff. We've got to work on our inside run to get we've got to be able to run the ball inside the tackles, and once we run the ball inside the tackles, it opens up our play action passes and stuff. So, you know, we worked on some of the schemes that we're doing, but we really worked on our blocking inside the box, and that's what we got to focus on to be really good at the end.
Right. Well, how's your kicking game coming on?
Kicking game's coming on good. James Parks, he does our extra points, and he does a good job kicking. Our center last week went out. He got hit in the head a little bit, but I mean, it's gonna be fine. But I had a backup center in there and had a couple bad snaps. So when the snaps was good, Jaden made them. Kickoff is Kedrick Brown. He done a good job with that. And then our punt return team did a great job. We didn't have to punt, so. But Caleb Weed does our punting, and you know, I'm pleased with our special teams, but that's about a part of a good football team is special teams. So we got to get better at that. We work on it 15 minutes every single day. So, you know, that's on me if we're not good at the end of the year, especially.
Right. Well, Coach, I've always thought the best play in football was when you can kick it in the end zone. But if you don't have a kid that can do that, the teams I see, you know, they got fast kids on the kickoff team that can cover regardless of how far you kick it. But you don't see kids kicking in the end zone much anymore.
No, you don't. And I'm like you know, you kick it in the end zone, they're going to start on the 20 every time. But, you know, it's hard to find kids that get out in the yard and kick and do things like that like they used to a long time ago. It's hard to find a kicker. But Kedrick Brown has kicked off for 2 years, and you know, he'll hit good ones, then he's going to hit a couple bad ones. So we always got to be prepared for the bad ones. But he kicks it close to the end zone, and when he hits it well, it can go in the end zone. So, you know, hopefully we keep improving and get it where he gets it.
Right. Well, I tell you what, Coach, he's getting a lot of practice right now because y'all are doing a good job on offense, and you're scoring a lot of points. But look, let's kind of switch gears. And you got another region game. It's a home game, your first home game, I guess, of the year. So I know that your fans are looking forward to that. And you got a Mckenzie team coming into Bulldog Stadium. I see where they lost last week to Georgiana, but Georgiana's always got a good team. So what can you tell us about Mckenzie?
Well, Mckenzie, they got a new coach this year, and it's Coach Powell, who used to be at Georgiana, had all those good teams for several years, and then he helped Georgiana a year or so ago, and now he's at Mckenzie, and you know, he's going to have those guys in the right position. Can't say that their players are great athletes, but he's going to have them in the right position. They're going to know what they're doing. He's going to build a good program at Mckenzie like he did at Georgiana, and you know, that's the type of things that I fear of a very good coach, and all the kids doing the right thing. He's got a lot of young guys, and they're gonna have to execute. But he's doing a great. Got a really good running back in Cameron Daniels. They call him Bo, but he's a really good running back. He's about 240, runs the ball well, and Coach Powell's gonna do a good job over there. It's just gonna take him a little time to get things like he wants.
Right. Well, y'all, hey, Brantley McKenzie have had some wars in the past, and for sure, y'all battled some good games. But Coach, I wish you a lot of luck Friday night. And again, I know you're ready to play that home game and get your fans. And of course, I know y'all travel well anyway. But hey, so good luck against McKenzie Friday night in your second region game. But have you had any JV games yet?
Yes, sir. We played 2 JV games. The first one we played Pleasant Home and won it down there, and then we played Goshen this past Monday night and won it. So our JV's 2-0. But you know, we got some good opponents coming up, and those young guys are working hard every day. So, but our JV is 2-0 right now, and I'm pleased with what they're doing. But they got to keep getting better because they're going to be the big dogs.
Yeah, that's right, Coach. And y'all got a good feeder program set up, and you know, you and I've talked before. Places like Brantley and other places that just the community loves football. You got elementary kids just can't wait till they get up there.
Oh, that's right now.
Yeah.
got kindergarten kids that
Yeah.
go out there after school and they throwing the ball around and they want to be in there. In 12 years, they gonna be the guy.
Yeah. Coach, they don't play cup ball on the sideline anymore, do they?
No, they can't do it on the side. They get outside the fence over there and they have a good time to get it on.
Yeah. Well, look here, Coach. Congratulations on your win this week, and you know, good luck next week against Mckenzie. And I did not know Coach Powell had left Georgiana, and I do know, yeah, he is a very good coach. So I know y'all will be well prepared, and we look forward to talking with you next week.
All right, thank you, Mr. Towns. We appreciate everything you do, and appreciate Troy Cable, and you know, just come on out and support the folks in Brantley if you watch it. If not, go support somebody. These kids need it.
Right. And, Coach, we thank you for all you do. Appreciate it a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm working underneath this truck.
Oh, man, can you work on diesel trucks?
No, I can't.
Do you know that Wiley Sanders will train you to work on diesel trucks?
Really?
In a shop.
In a shop?
A shop. My man, you made it.
Yes, sir, I did.
You came to Wiley Sanders to a shop. How you like teaching this young man?
I enjoy helping these guys be successful.
So if they can work on a little truck, you can teach them how to work on a big truck.
Yes, sir, we sure can.
Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line where we'll teach you how to work on a big truck.
We're blowing away high prices. Use Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Ford. We got them. And they're all marked down. Over 120 to choose from. Bring home $350 a week and you can be approved. Shop PremierTroy.com or come see us. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody. Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois,
Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. You're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina, Ohio, and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
We know life can be fun and exciting, but also sometimes challenging. With always being on the go, it can be tough to take care of the big little things, like getting a loan for a more reliable car. Sometimes you just need some help that works with you on your terms. And that's exactly what you get with Max Credit Union. With convenient tools like loan updates right to your phone and personal service, you can get more done in less time. And that is something to cheer about. We know life can be fun and exciting.
Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pike County High School Bulldog Coaches Show. I'm your host, David Helms, and with me is the head coach of the Bulldogs, Coach Mark Hurt. Coach, welcome to the studio. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good.
Awesome.
Coach, it was a big region game last week, your first region game. You had to go on the road and play a pretty tough, strong team, and I know you weren't happy with the outcome. I know it was a 20-19 loss on the road, but you came up a little short. But you had to have brought away some positives from the game.
I thought it was a good game. You know, it was to me like a second round game where you have to go on the road, and
yeah,
you know, I learned a little bit more about our team, and I thought they played well. We got some situations that we had our chances. We just didn't capitalize on it.
Right.
And you know, once we can learn to capitalize and get better at some of those things, and some of it had to do with the fact that, you know, some inexperience, and you know, and Strong had a good team.
Right.
They had a very good team. And,
right.
You know, they got the momentum late in the game, and and you know, they really played well. But I thought we played well. I thought we learned a lot from the game.
Right.
We just have to figure out how to come out on the other end of the score.
Right. Well, Coach, I wasn't at the game, but I saw some of the stats, and I know that you led, I want to say 19-13, is that right, late in the game?
Yeah, 3 minutes and 29 seconds left in the game.
Right, and I guess they managed to score and, for the 20-19 win. But so did big plays or turnovers play a factor, or?
Well, we had 3 turnovers. We also had an opportunity right there once we scored.
Right.
And we kicked a pooch kick, and the ball hit the ground, and we just barely missed it. It was big, man.
It's a game of inches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We barely missed it, and I felt like we could have got on that ball and maybe ran some more time off the clock.
Right.
It would have come out a little different, but we had our opportunities, we had our chances, but we did have 3 turnovers. They actually found a good little running game on us at one point.
Okay.
And they kind of drove it down our throat on a couple of drives. We got them in 4th down. We had offsides, a few penalties. So, all those little things that count.
Right.
And, they took advantage of it. They're a well-seasoned team. And, I think our kids are still growing and learning. So, like I said, it was a good game for us. Right. We're learning. We're getting better.
Right.
At just some point, we just got to learn faster.
Right. Well, you know what? You got, I want to say 7 more region games, I want to say. But it's early in the season, and of course the region games are important. And, but like I said, I know you're not happy with the outcome with the 1-point loss, but leading late in the game. And of course, when you have turnovers and stuff and you look back and you can correct those, it's a different game.
Well, the biggest thing we have to improve upon is our field goal unit. We kicked 1 and we had 2 to be blocked.
Okay.
So, that's major. That's 2 points right there. We lost by 1.
I got you.
And they made 1 field goal more than we did.
Okay.
Extra point, I should say.
Right.
And, they blocked 2 of ours. They made 1. We made 1. They made 2. So that's the outcome, 1-point loss. And, I've always felt like field goals are very big. So, we worked on that this week. We put some bigger bodies up there. So, maybe we can hold them out and get that extra point we need now.
Yeah. But you know what? A positive on the kicking game, you returned the kickoff for a touchdown.
3rd one
That's
this
3
year.
this year.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ian Foster, very dangerous young man. I tell you, he has surprised me a lot. And
right. That's a weapon.
I was surprised they kicked the ball to him. And
right.
Coming out of halftime, when they kicked it to him, I said, I know they did not kick it to him. And just like that, man.
Right.
We were up 13-0. And they, Ian actually is doing great. He's getting a lot of attention.
Right.
And he has some big offers to come today. And
awesome.
That's something I'll talk about next week.
Right. Awesome.
But he's really playing well.
Now he's a senior.
He's a senior.
Okay.
And he's really playing
well.
Well, we just
Coach,
have to get a few other guys to step up and help him out a little bit.
Right. Well, I saw in the paper where, correct me if I'm wrong, but Amari Barrow, that's your quarterback.
Right.
He had touchdown passes of 30 and 59 yards to Ian Foster.
Right.
So that was 2 big pass plays for you right there.
That's right.
But well, listen, how did your O-line and D-lines play?
We played better, a lot better, but we still have to improve in that area.
Right.
We're young up front and not much experience, but it's 2 games under the belt, and that's what I preach. Hey, you have 2 games of experience.
Sure.
And it's just just have to get better.
Right.
But I thought their scheme, they did a lot of moving and slanting and those type of things, and that's kind of hard for a young a group of young players that don't have much experience to kind of pick up on.
Right.
But they're learning. I thought they did well in practice. Those are things. Everything that we make mistakes on, we work on the next week.
Right.
And I like our team. I like our chances. And I just know we're going to get better and better every week.
Sure.
So I see the improvement.
Right.
And they're working hard. Good group of kids. Work hard in the weight room, and they want to get better.
Right. Yeah. Well, Coach, before we flip to this coming week, tell me a little bit how practice went this week. I know you said you worked on things. Obviously you saw Friday night that you need to improve on, and your weather had to have been good this week. So did you have a good week?
I thought we had a good week of practice. There was one day I talked to them about their energy, and it was just one practice, and the next day they picked it up, and I thought today was a good practice. So, I think they're starting to understand what we expect.
Right.
The discipline's getting better with you know, some of the things we've been doing, because we've jumped off sides a lot the first couple of games.
Okay.
And, you know, we cut it now from maybe 4 or 5 to once last week.
Okay.
And hopefully we can, you know, get that corrected. And we're getting better on our penalties. So we're a team that's growing. We're learning. So, you know, it's just a process. It's a process, and I think the kids are doing their best to meet the challenges that we're putting out there for them. And, you know, next week's a big game. And, and, you know, we just have to figure out how to get a win on our belt. I think that's the main thing. We need to win a game so that they can understand that, hey, once we win, you know, we can get the kind of like that burden of that, you know, they say that monkey off your back, because it's been a while. So I just think that's very important that we win a game.
Well, let me ask you this: how many seniors you got this year?
It's about total. We started out with 13, but I think we're down to about 10 right now.
Okay, yeah. And you were talking about, you know, obviously that leadership, you know, is what you look for in these tight games too. But anyway, listen. Like I said, I know you pulled some positives from that game, and we can move on to this week. You got an Ashford team coming to Bulldog Stadium. In fact, well, that you played Charles Henderson home, so this will technically be your second home game. But it is a region game. I see where they lost to Rehoboth, which is a 5A school, and also to Providence Christian, which we know has got a pretty good football team. So they'll be coming in 0-2. But what do you know about? What can you tell us about Ashford?
Well, they defensively, you know, they run a heavy set defense, what I call, which is like a rhino or a bear type front. In which they stay in, they man, and they're very good up front. They run a lot of old school. They get in the eye, they get in spread, so they kind of mix it up. They'll get in wing, so they come out in various formations, multiple formations. And you know, right now it seems like it depends on situations and scenarios. But they will get in spread and throw the ball, and they will run it. They like to come out on a wing set, old school. It's like a wing tee a little bit with a spread on one side. Run a lot of motion, speed sweeps, and those type of things. So, you know, they give you different looks, and they mix it up a little bit. So,
what about weapons? What can we, you know, what can the fans look for, you know, as far as weapons they got?
Well, what I've noticed so far, my X factor is the guy that runs the speed sweep and a running back that looks pretty good to me. And they have a big back too, pretty good sized kid. Look like he's about 215, maybe 220. The quarterback, fast. And, I think he's a smart guy. You know, I think they still young and trying to figure out what they want to do. You know, those multiple formations, because you got to mix a wing and spread. And so I think they're really trying to find my feeling is that they're trying to find out what they can really do
what they do best.
Defensively, they, you know, like I said, they stay pretty basic in that strong 5-man front to stop the run. And because our league, you get a lot of wing, and you get a lot of tight sets, and so that's pretty much what they do defensively. But you know, the quarterback, I think, you know, we have to kind of keep him in the pocket and limit his throws. The big back, you know, I think we got to hit him early so he didn't get up too much steam. And we definitely have to adjust to the formations and not get fooled by all the motion, and the different looks. So I mean, I like our chances. They're like us; they're struggling to get a victory. I think they're going to play hard against us. Anytime you play a team that has not won, and then you haven't won, so you know, everybody feels like, hey, we have a chance.
Well, is there a particular matchup that, as a fan, I'm looking at, you know, like your O-line versus their D-line, or your defensive backs versus their receivers? Is there a particular matchup that you're not concerned about, but maybe interested in seeing how it develops during the course of the game?
Well, you know, when you have Ian, you always have a weapon. But if they're smart, they'll double team him. So we just need some other, and we have the people to do it. You know, I just think we just have to figure out how to do it. You know, someone has to step up.
That's right.
And, you know, Ian has shown that he's capable. But we have, you know, several kids, younger guys, and a couple of older guys that I feel very good about. And I just think, you know, they just need to step up when the pressure's on him and make something happen.
Yeah. Have you got a position group that's really surprised you with their growth, I guess you'd say, from the beginning of the year?
Well, I think our skill group is very good.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
Secondary-wise, I like our secondary. I think, you know, we're pretty solid in the secondary.
Yeah.
Even though I do have a 9th grader, a 10th grader, I have a 9th grader at corner,
Yeah.
10th grader at safety, and I have a 11th grader and a senior on the other side. But I feel very comfortable with those guys.
Right.
I think defensively, up front, we're getting better. You know, we have some guys who just kind of moved in.
Right.
And
okay.
I think they're going to help us out. And linebacker-wise, we're still young. I got a lot of
you got a lot of young kids.
Yes, I have a lot of.
Yes.
They're talented kids, but they have not played a whole lot of football.
Right.
And I like this group, man. So,
Yeah.
you know, hopefully after 2 games being under their belt, they'll come out with some energy and play to what I always see, like play to our level.
Right.
Play the way we practice, play
That's
at the tempo,
Right.
and not play to the opponent's level.
Right.
And I think, you know, some good things happen early.
Yeah.
You know, we could definitely get on the road.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Well, Coach, you're building momentum. I mean, like you say, we know you got a young team. You went to Strawn Friday night, and you know, play or two away, you come away with a victory. You got Ashford this week, home game in the confines of Bulldog Stadium. So, you know, we wish you a lot of luck. I want to thank you again for all you're doing, and maybe next week, maybe we can talk a little bit about some of your staff.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
but I do appreciate all you're doing, and I know everybody will be supportive Friday night. It'll be a big night, and good luck against Ashford.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Go Bulldogs.
Appreciate it.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Are you ready?
Sometimes more is more. And with Max Checking, I enjoy more with perks, like access to my paychecks 2 days early, free overdraft protection, earning rewards everywhere I spend, and more of everything that makes life a little sweeter. You can enjoy more too with Max Credit Union.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow. How many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%?
Yes.
Wow. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm working underneath this truck.
Oh, man, can you work on diesel trucks?
No, I can't.
Do you know that Wiley Sanders will train you to work on diesel trucks?
Really?
In a shop.
In a shop?
A shop. My man, you made it.
Yes, sir, I did.
You came to Wiley Sanders to a shop. How you like teaching this young man?
I enjoy helping these guys be successful.
So if they can work on a little truck, you can teach them how to work on a big truck.
Yes, sir, we sure can.
Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line where we'll teach you how to work on a big truck.
We're blowing away high prices. Use Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Ford. We got them. And they're all marked down. 120 to choose from. Bring home $350 a week, and you can be approved. Shop PremierTroy.com or come see us. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody. Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois,
Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. You're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina, Ohio, and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Highland Home Coaches Show. I'm your host, David Helms, and I've got via Zoom the head coach of the squadron, Coach Will Pouncey. And, Coach, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Hey, Coach, you and I talked last week, and you everything you said was just the way the game went. A heavyweight, pretty much boxing match. And I know y'all went at it, toe-to-toe, two ranked teams. But you came out ahead 34-33 against a very good Ayrton team and won it at the end of the game. So, man, I know your fans and your players, just so much excitement. But big win for y'all.
Oh, extremely huge win for us. I mean, it was the same, euphoric feeling for us after we won the other night as it was in the third round of playoffs when we beat Lynette. Because crowd was into it, just the resilience our kids showed to come back and down 13 points with under 5 minutes to go and to come back and get a W. It was just, I hope just a life lesson for our kids to show, man, hey, anything can happen in this world, in this life at any time, especially, in a football game. But it was just extremely exciting for our fan base, for our kids, for me as well, and just everybody here in the Hall Home community.
Yeah, well, Coach, I told you last week I applaud you and Coach Kilcrease for scheduling the game, and these kind of games is when you get better, and early in the season, like you said, it was like a playoff game. And it's only going to make both teams better. Now, somebody had to win and somebody had to lose, but what a classic game it was. Now, I'll tell you this. I had my source at the game that kept texting me the scores, and so, I know it was 14-7 Highland Home, 20-19 near the half, but I got a score, and it was 33-20 Ayrton. And I'm thinking, well, they pulled away a little bit, and then the next text I get is like maybe 11 seconds in the game, or y'all are on the 8-yard line. So I know you score late, and then you go for two, I guess, correct?
We did. We actually, we scored late. Ayrton, they dominated the third quarter and half the fourth quarter. Like it was under 5 minutes remaining, and so we get a big turnover from them, and all of a sudden our offense came alive. We started making the plays and leaned on a little bit, got in the end zone there, and then forced a 3 and out. Our defense came out and did a good job. Now, they were threatening. Like I said, it wasn't an easy 3 and out, but forced a 3 and out. They ended up punting, and, our offense, we had a little momentum then. We were just saying, hey, fight to the end, fight to the end, fight to the end. Under 5 minutes, you down 2 scores.
Yeah.
I don't know what chances we got, but I wanted to stress for our boys, hey, we're going to compete every play.
Right.
Regardless of this game is not going to make or break our season, but we need to learn to compete to the end, and that's exactly what our kids did. And we go down, and we scored that touchdown, and we're still down a point. And with the wet conditions that there were out there that night. We had snap, hold, and kick issues earlier in the game, and I said, I'm going to snap it to one of my playmakers, to probably my biggest playmaker, my Florida State commit, Keldrick Falk, and, we're going to see what happens. And, we were fortunate to actually, Ayrton had a a penalty on that play. We got half the distance to the goal. And, beforehand, we actually had another play called. But then when we got half the distance to the goal, I was like, big man, I said, just make it happen. Don't let them stop you. And they had a valiant effort to stop him because they hit him right there at the goal line. But thank God he was big enough to lean on over in there and give us the win.
Right. Well, Coach, you just explained what I was going to ask you. Everybody wants to know what's going through the coach's head, when you're down there and you score and you need a point, and then you go for two instead of the one, but you just explained it perfectly. I mean, the weather conditions and probably the momentum of the game, but early season win like that, the way you came from behind, like you said, you're down 13 points with so many minutes to go, and you're preaching to your kids just, hey, play hard, good things will happen. So lessons like that, you can't teach that. That's got to be, learned on the field. So that was invaluable.
That was very valuable, very, very valuable. And, I want our kids to learn this, life after football as well.
Right.
That just because you're down and out don't mean it's over. And of course, I mean, I'm an advocate for football, of course. And, life lessons are taught thoroughly through this game all the time. And I just believe, when they get to their professional careers, whatever that might be, I mean, it's always not going to go your way. But you can't fold the tent. You got to continue to pursue and push forward and do your job every day. And, as far as for us, it's do your job every snap, every play, and, to put yourself in the best position to be successful. And, I just think that is what's going to go forward for these young men in life as well. To just continue to do their job, and it will work out in the long run.
Right. Well, Coach, there's a lot of lessons that can be learned between them lines. You and I both know that. So, but look, you mentioned a couple of kids, but is anybody else you wanted to mention that played well for you offensively, defensively, or the kicking game?
I don't know where to start or where to stop.
That's right.
I'm just so extremely proud of all these kids. I mean, we have a really close-knit group right now. And,
right.
It's one of the best groups I've ever been a part of. And, I've been a part of the state championship team down there in Elba. And,
right.
I was Charles Henderson. We had a good group. And, I've been a part of some really good football teams here at Highland Home and coached a couple of them as the head coach and defense coordinator. But it has been an extremely good group. But, some guys that I hate to single out anybody. But
yes.
Of course, our Falk boys, Kelly Falk, J.J. Falk, they come to work every day. Bryce Mckenzie, who's up for FIBA Player of the Week this week, with WSFA, I mean, just the resilience he showed, the toughness he showed, playing both sides of the ball, and I'm out there, gritting my teeth, just hoping that he don't get hurt. But when I put him at quarterback, he said, "Coach, please don't take me off defense." He said, "I said, son, I ain't gonna punish you. If you want to play both sides of the ball, and I'm asking you to play quarterback, I'm not gonna take any other assignments away from him if that's what you want to do." So.
Right.
We might be rolling the dice right there. I don't know, but it's 2A Ironman football.
That's right.
Ironman.
Yes.
We got Cooper Ingram, who's a junior this year for us as well, and he is just steps in wherever we need him to. He's played middle linebacker. He's played H-back. He's played defensive end. He's been left guard, left tackle, right guard, right tackle. Just whatever we need him to do. I mean, he is one of the most valuable guys that we got, and just an asset for us. And I hate to name names because we have so many valuable players.
That's right.
Scout team guys every week who do what we ask them to do to prepare us for Friday nights.
Right. Well, Coach, I know the way you're talking, and I know you well. You are team oriented, and I know all your players think the same way. And that chemistry in that locker room is important. But anyway, great win Friday night. Congratulate you. I know it was your fans loved it. You had a big home win. So congratulations on that. Before we move on this week, tell me just briefly, how's practice gone this week?
Preparation's been really good, really good. Like I said, Monday was kind of, short-sighted because we had the JV game.
Yeah.
We were a little short-handed up front on Monday. We had a couple of injuries coming out of Friday. Actually, a freak injury was with my starting left tackle. A.J. Johnson, he was looking for some knee pads in the locker room and picked up a locker, and the locker hinges came off, and it fell right on his foot and busted him up. He wasn't even able to go Friday night. And, he's a big time player for our team. Then our starting right guard, knee pops out of place on late in the game there. So he was, of course, not able to go early this week, and hadn't been able to practice with us this week. But we've been trying to work some other guys in. Some younger guys had to step in the O-line, and it's been a teaching moment for them. And kind of what I've learned over the last few years is if we can get those guys reps early in the season and maybe survive that game, then that will nothing but provide you depth later in the season. And that's something that I really learned last year. But preparation's been good. Of course, all the skill guys are pretty healthy, and so we're just moving forward and doing what we can do with that. But preparation has been good. The mentality's been good, and I've been really impressed with our guys' demeanor this week.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, Coach, you start region play Friday night, and it doesn't get any easier for you. You got the Goshen Eagles coming to the squadron field, and they've got two big wins over Delville and Zion Chapel, and I know you've looked at them on film and stuff. So, what do you expect the Eagles to bring?
Well, I expect Don Moore to bring over a really good football team.
Yeah.
I've seen them on field. They got a lot of speed. They got some playmakers. Like I said, they got some weapons there that that are very dangerous in space. They're very physical. They get after it. That's the thing that I noticed the most. It's just the flat out effort that they give, snap in, snap out, and of course that's coached, and of course the kids too. The mentality they have, but Don Moore's bringing over a great football team. A 2-0 football team. We're going to start off the region, and here's the thing. A lot of people probably around these parts don't know, but me and Don Moore, we're really, really good friends. There's probably not many days go by in the year in the calendar that me and Don don't speak. Now, we play a lot of golf together, so I need some bragging rights on the golf course. So I need something to happen here.
Oh, my goodness. That's pretty good. Well, hey, without giving away anything, is there a particular matchup you're kind of concerned about, as far as positions against position?
I think we all match up pretty well. I got some taller guys on the perimeter, but their guys are very athletic. I think they can match our speed. It's really going to come up to, and like I said, it's every Friday night. What happens up front in those stretches? Who's more physical up there, and who can make those those plays up there? But what I'm looking forward to is how we execute up front, and because I think on the perimeter we're both very athletic, and so I just look forward to the challenge. We've had 3 challenges in a row, and so I hope our guys are battle tested. And we had the ASWA rankings come out today, Sports Writers rankings, that put us number 2 in the state, and that don't really mean much. I love the attention we get and all that, but it all comes down to being physical, who push who off the ball. And I know we got a target on our back now, and everybody's going to give us their best shot.
Right. Well, Coach, again, you got them at home. It's a big region game, your first region game, and, both teams are 2-0. So it should be another great game. I know your fans are looking forward to it. Goshen will bring a big crowd, and just wish you all the luck. And I know it'll be a great game. I hate I'm not going to be there, but I'll have me a guy that'll text me the scores like I did last week. But hey, I will say this. I want to ask you this. You said you played a JV game or two. How's that going?
Oh, JV's going really good. Like I said, we went down to Elba last week. We were able to pull out a 6-0 win. Then we went to Luverne this past Monday. Our arch rival, JV arch rival too. And, we dropped down a couple scores. Our starting quarterback got knocked out, about halftime. We didn't want to play him second half. He'll be coming back. So they tacked on another score. But, we put in a backup quarterback. We was kind of playing it by ear, to be honest with you. And we ended up coming down and and scored and closed it down to a 6-point game. And, you know, we only lost by 6 points there in Luverne, but we got them coming back to Highland Home in a couple of weeks. So ready for our guys to compete again and, you know, fight to the end, and maybe we can, you know, return the favor to them. But anyhow, our JV program is something we take a lot of pride in because that is absolutely our future. And, you know, that's something we try to practice every day, and we try to get those guys as much reps as possible.
Yeah, well, I know they appreciate all you do for them, Coach. And those JV guys, they look just as forward to their games as your other kids do. And, well, look, I will say this. You got the coolest mascot. You know, that airplane out front of the school, every time I go by there, I look at that. I mean, that is a beautiful sight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're very proud of our mascot, and you know, I think it's kind of become a landmark here for the state of Alabama. You know, there's people all over the state of Alabama. They might not have ever heard of Highland Home before. You know, that plane went up, but you know, on their way down to Panama City Beach, West Florida, there's a lot of people who stop and see that F-16 jet on the side of the road, and when you say Highland Home now, there's a lot of people around this state, and even further up north who come down I-65 to 331 to go down the sandy beaches down the Panhandle. They know where Highland Home is now, and I'm hoping our football program will give them more reason to.
Right. Well, Coach, you got it going on, and congratulations with the number 2 ranking. I mean, that's good for the players and the community and the school, and gives you well-deserved recognition for your program. But look, we'll invite everybody out Friday night to Highland Home for a big region matchup with Goshen. Good luck to you. And listen, I appreciate you joining us tonight. And again, thank you for all you do. And maybe next week we can talk a little bit about some of your staff. And I know you've been very complimentary of them already this year. And hey, good luck. We hope to talk with you next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll be here. Like I said, I know everybody will be showing up in their blue and white, purple and gold. We haven't played in a couple of years, but it's always a big game. Like I said, we're right down the road. You know, if the crow flies, we're probably closer than anybody. So I look forward to it. I know Coach Moore looks forward to it at Goshen. And, hey, everybody come out and see some good high school football come Friday night.
Yeah. We interviewed him earlier, Coach, and he was very complimentary on you and your program, just like you've been to his. So hey, great friends, and then, you know, when the lights come on, you got to do what you got to do. So, hey, good luck. Hope to see you next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll be here. Hey, you know as good as anybody. There ain't nobody you want to beat more than your brother now.
There you go.
So I got to have those. I got to have those bragging rights. So it's going to be a hard-fought battle for sure.
Yeah. Take care, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You know, life can be fun and exciting, but also sometimes challenging. With always being on the go, it can be tough to take care of the big little things, like getting a loan for a more reliable car. Sometimes you just need some help that works with you on your terms. And that's exactly what you get with Max Credit Union. With convenient tools like loan updates right to your phone and personal service, you can get more done in less time. And that is something to cheer about.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Are you ready?